He's back.
Oh, her cat? No, we have two cats. I don't think we have the right to say
no,
we don't
he's
care.
back.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
Who's- oh.
He's on crack.
Hey, everybody, I'm back. I think I got out for a second. I hope you can hear me. I think you can. Sorry about that. I just don't know what was going on there.
Space law.
Looks like we got about 15 people here. That's doing pretty good. Hey, I just want to chat a little bit about the class in general, and then also about the project that we are going to be working on this week. So there's really just one goal for this week in terms of new assignments. That's the project itself. First of
Did he leave again?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's still.
I cannot hear him at all.
I can't mute my mic for some reason. There we go.
Like
Is it
super
super
choppy.
It's because his mic is muted.
Yeah, it's super choppy whenever I like hear him.
Please shut up.
Suck Wi-Fi. What?
Can you guys hear me?
What?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Clifton.
Cool. I guess.
Man, this is
How is everybody's
Nice.
quarantine?
It's
Oh, you
boring,
know.
Cliff. Not gonna lie. Everybody in my house working from home.
I hate it.
I've turned in 2 late assignments already.
There you go, Devin.
Anderson keeps
Yeah.
calling me out for having late assignments, and it's scaring me.
I honestly don't care.
Whoa, Devin, what's going on?
Damn.
Dude, I
Hey.
just woke up. I don't want to be here.
I think my mic just unmuted. Finally, I hope you guys can hear me
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we
now.
can hear you.
Oh, good. I'll
That's the dry side.
I'll start chatting now. Sorry about the delay. That was really ridiculous, but I'm not sure what happened there. I had to close the window and open it again. Hey, first of all, thank you all for tuning in here, and thank you for sending me messages, asking questions. This has not been easy for me, and I'm sure it hasn't been easy for you. We'll get through this if you keep asking questions, sending me messages. If you turned in something late or messed up on something, send me a message, and we can get it right until this week. One of the first things I just wanted to talk about is grades are up to date. So they're up to date in Canvas, they're up to date in Harmony. If you've got zeros, if you've got F's, this is the week to fix it. If you've got things so well on, if you got that you forgot to do in the first place, get into Canvas, do them, and let me know you did them so we can get you credit for them this week. But if there's any of those zeros from when e-learning started to now that are still there this week, I'm not going to be able to give you any credit for them. That gave you several weeks to get them done. So just be sure that you try to take care of that this week. And that even goes for corrections. So things that if you got a lousy grade on something and want to try submitting again, go for it. Just fix the things that you got wrong. I have left comments in Canvas when I'm grading your stuff, so you can see kind of where you messed up on or which questions weren't quite right. Go ahead and get into Canvas and check stuff out. If you have any questions about what I'm saying, specific questions, I think it's probably easier to keep your microphone muted and type them in the little chat window off to the side here. I am trying to monitor that as we go through here the best that I can. So if you have specific questions about makeup work, but I'm being pretty lenient in terms of letting it go. But this week is when we need to get any of those zeros made up. Second thing we'll talk about is this week's project. You probably noticed already if you've been into Canvas that the astronomy research project is the main thing we're working on for this week. So it's a big project. It's worth 60 points, and it's a project grade. It definitely is. It's kind of the capstone project for astronomy. We've talked about astronomy. We've learned about it, and we are we're going to let you now choose something that you want to research, and it's really pretty open-ended. There's different topics and lots of different projects. I'm going to try to present my entire screen here so that we can go through and talk just briefly about some of the possible topics and projects that you could do. So give me just a second here. Okay, hopefully you should be able to see my screen here, and this is, again, nothing that you can't see in Canvas. I just want to talk to you a little bit about how you're going to do this. So there's two things you will turn in. There is two parts to this. Submit two different files to me in Canvas. The first part's a paper, which you'll write, and the second part is a Google Slides presentation, which if we were in class, we'd be presenting it to the class. Can't quite do that part with this whole virus thing. So two things that you'll do: write the paper and create the Google Slides presentation. As far as what you do it on, there's lots of different possibilities. You've heard of some of this stuff before as we've gone through the last 4 chapters. Some of it you've never heard of before. But I would just start by Googling 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 of these things and learning a little bit about them. Find a few that really interest you. Make it something that you find interesting, so that this project isn't too boring for you. Down below, hopefully you can see this, is how it's graded. I hope that you can see that what I'm highlighting here is the fact that there is 30 points for the paper, what you write. I tried to make it really simple. I tried to show you that you get 10 points for writing a paragraph about whatever that topic's general characteristics and properties are. You get 10 more points for a paragraph about how we discovered it, or maybe if it's a telescope or a machine, how we built it. So that depends on what you choose. And finally, you get 10 more points for writing a paragraph in your paper or what we have learned from it. What did we learn or figure out about the universe that we didn't know before? Then once you've written your paper, you'll submit that to me, but that's only half of the assignment. You have to create a Google Slides presentation. Think of this as a quick summary of your paper. If you've written your paper well, you shouldn't really have to do any more research except for finding some good images or videos to include. On the slides presentation, include the main points from your paper. And I don't mean copying and pasting your paper into your Google Slides presentation. I mean bullet points. So just the main points, main bullet points from your paper. You get 10 points for doing that. Find some great images, pictures, or videos that have to do with your topic. You get 10 points. And then finally, what you are specifically typing, you get 10 points for how well you describe and summarize the topic itself. So that's how we get our total of 60 points. I'm going to stop sharing in just a second here. Lots of possible topics. I'm not going to talk about them all right now. Some of my favorites are NEOs, near-Earth asteroids. There are some asteroids that could potentially strike Earth in the future. You could tell us about them and tell us about some plans that NASA has to possibly nudge them out of the way if we do discover one of them will hit us in the future. This is a great topic. Exoplanets, planets around other stars besides our own sun. We've discovered thousands of them. You could talk about how they are discovered or even some specific ones if you like. There's microwaves coming from all directions in our universe. This is actually leftover radiation from the Big Bang itself. That's interesting to study how it is mapped out and how it was discovered in the first place. You could write about the next telescope that'll be launched next year. You could write about a number of these giant craters that have been discovered. If you really want a challenge, you might want to write about dark matter and dark energy. We covered that in notes in chapter 24. Some pretty mysterious stuff that's really on the cutting edge of science. If you can figure out what dark matter actually is, you would win a Nobel Prize for that. And if you could figure out dark energy, you would win a Nobel Prize for that as well. Lots of other really good things. I just added this one on the end because last year at about this time, we took the first image, actual image of a black hole that had never actually been done before. So you could write about how that was done and what we learned about that. I'm going to stop sharing for a second, switch back over. to me, hopefully. You can see me. Looks like we have a few more people logged on there. So it's good to see you all if you're just joining us. And if you are just joining us, I am recording this so you can watch this on YouTube in a little while once I get it posted. I'm going to switch over to my chat window here and see if there's anybody who has any questions. But that's essentially all I wanted to cover. I just wanted to cover the fact that get in any makeup work or corrections this week. After that, any zeros or bad grades you have are going to stay that way. We want to get you credit for this class, even though it's been tough. It's been tough for me, and I'm sure it's been tough learning on your own, mostly independently for you guys. But the good news is, if you screw something up, I am taking corrections and second tries. And if you forgot to do something, just communicate with me, and I'm sure we can figure out a way to get you points for it, but that's this week only. Second thing is the project. So that's a 60-point project grade. That's the largest grade that we have yet so far this trimester. So this one thing is going to affect your grade more than anything else we have done or will do in the future. So do a nice job in it. I will close by saying that as it gets to Wednesday, Thursday, or even Friday morning, if you have your paper written on Wednesday, share it with me or email it to me, and I can comment on it. I can give you some suggestions. I want to get you the best grade possible on this. So send me a rough draft before you submit the real thing in Canvas. And same with the Google Slides presentation. If you have it all, what you think is done on Thursday night or Friday morning or even Friday after lunch, send it to me. Send it to me so I can take a look at it, and I'll make some comments and suggestions. I really think we can get you a high B or a low A at least, if not even more, if you let me take a look at it, because we can treat this almost like an English class where you submit a rough draft and then the teacher makes some comments on it, right? So just remember that. Any other questions you can try to ask with the microphone, or you can just type it off to the side there. Dustin wants me to go back to the rubric, or Ryan wants me to go back to the rubric, and I'm not going to do that because you can see that in Canvas. It's really hard for me to switch back to my screen. But yeah, if you want to see the rubric again, you can switch back, or you can just go into Canvas right now. Ryan had a question about what that portion of the rubric said, like how it was discovered or built, etc. Yeah, what you write about there really depends on your topic. Let's say you choose the James Webb Space Telescope. You're going to write more about how it was built, what it cost, what are some of the things that had to be invented, how long did it take to build, when is it planning on being launched into space. Let's say you're talking about dark matter. Well, we didn't build dark matter, so you're not going to talk about that, but you would maybe talk more about how we know it's there, how we discovered it. Or a crater, you might talk about when they discovered it, who discovered it, you know, how did they first figure out it was there, or how old it was. So that just, for that part of the rubric, it really just depends on your topic, what you choose. You kind of have to customize it, and that's why the rough draft can help. Send me a quick email, copy and paste it in an email, send it to me. Hey, Mr. Penning, how does this look? I'd be happy to give you my, give you my take on it so we can get to the best grade possible on that. Good questions. For you guys on the side there, if anybody else. Trying to see if I've skipped anything else there on the chat bar. I don't think I did. Hey, so I know you guys might want to talk to each other for a little bit too, so I don't want to hog the conversation here. If you guys want to just send some shout outs to some friends you're seeing here for the first time on this, go for it. I don't have anything else to say really about this assignment. Contact me with any questions you have. Any struggles you're having, any issues you're having, just as always, let me know, guys. Take care and have a good week.
Tim,
Take care.